وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ نجيناكم من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب يذبحون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم وفي ذلكم بلاء من ربكم عظيم وإذ فرقنا بكم البحر فأنجيناكم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وأنتم تنظرون صدق الله العظيم. Ayat number 49 and ayat number 50 of Surat al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Fir'aun and the Ali Fir'aun, the people of Fir'aun, his whole nation, his qawm, his people. They were the government, they were the law, and they had enslaved the Bani Israel, and they used to torture them. If the Bani Israel ever showed any kind of resistance, they were very, very severely tortured in various formats: physical torture, psychological torture. And Fir'aun, when he came into power, first thing he did was that he crushed any kind of opposition. And this is the way that oppressors generally operate. And after crushing the opposition or any kind of resistance, Fir'aun, he implemented the ironclad control over the people. Complete control, and he only accepted complete obedience. All the way to the point where he did not even allow any kind of freedom. There was no freedom of religion, there was no freedom of press. All of these freedoms were taken. At this time, the people used to have a belief in the system that Fir'aun had implemented, so they used to even worship him. And Fir'aun would tell the people, "Ana rabbukum wal-a'la," that I am your Lord Most High. He would force the people to worship him. He used magic or sihr to show a type of power to some degree in controlling the people. Also, at that time, there were many magicians. They had various fields within magic. One of those was also that there were soothsayers. There was one group or one specific branch from amongst them, they used to claim that they could read signs and symbols. And they were very, very skilled in the art of symbol reading. And then they had many, many other fields as well. So Fir'aun used to have a lot of trust in those that claimed to be experts in reading signs or symbols or patterns. And these were a group that also claimed that they could interpret people's dreams, and that dreams were also a pattern. We know from the Quran, and also at the time of Fir'aun, it was also a common thing that dreams do have a profound meaning. And it came from the time of Yusuf alayhi salam. We human beings were aware that first and foremost, the dreams of Anbiya alayhi salam, they were obviously true dreams, called ru'ya salihah, where those dreams that the Anbiya alayhi salam they saw, their dreams had a very, very profound meaning and have a very profound meaning. But in Surah Yusuf, it is also made clear that it is not just the dreams of Anbiya alayhi salam, but anyone can see a dream, can be shown signs and symbols in their dream, and they can be given a very, very profound message. When Yusuf alayhi salam, he was in prison for some time, There were two inmates, they saw dreams and their dreams turned out to be true. The interpretation that Yusuf alayhi salam gave them. So this art stayed in Misr or Egypt, and people had a very, very deep belief in dreams and the interpretation of dreams. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us human beings. One, we have this physical body, the jism. And in this jism we have a certain level of intellect, the aql. And this aql, it understands languages. So we have made various languages for ourselves. There is languages that we speak. Then there are sciences and arts that we have developed that have their own language, that are a language in themselves. You have mathematics, you have coding, you have science. And so on, all of these fields that we have, they have their own language. And that is the physical body, the physical intellect, the physical aql. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also created a ruh that keeps this body moving. And this ruh also, it has a system of understanding. It has its own language. Now, science tells us that this is the subconscious mind. When you have the conscious mind, and then there's another mind that you're not conscious or aware of, but it is there. The subconscious mind. And science is trying to figure out a way to control the subconscious mind, because they say the subconscious mind knows things that the conscious mind does not know. And the conscious mind has to work out the solution to problems. We have certain problems and we want to find the solution. So there are certain steps that we go through to find that solution. As for the subconscious mind, it has the solution. It doesn't worry about the necessary steps to get to that solution. It just tells you this is what it is and that's it. There's no, you can work around, you can work your way backwards and figure out how that happened, but it just gives you the solutions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this unique and very, very distinct system. They call it subconscious mind. But the ruh is what this subconscious mind is. Often at time we meet people, we get a good vibe from them. We feel good around them. We understand this person is a good person. We don't know how or why. Later on we come to the conclusion that the person was really a good person. We don't know the person's name, we don't know anything about them. Just meeting them, we get this understanding that this person is a good person. How do we know? We don't know anything about the person. Later on it comes out when we research and try to find out who the person was. We come to the conclusion that this person really was a good person. And also on the opposite side, often at time we get feelings and vibes about people that a certain person is not a good person. And these feelings, sometimes we dismiss them. We tell ourselves that no, this is a wrong thought and we should not think bad about someone. And later on, we find out that that person who initially and originally we thought bad of them or ill of them, it turns out to be true. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi. This is on a lighter note. He once was traveling with his servant, with one of his students, and they went to one area, they're just passing by. And a long journey, it wasn't like the journeys of today. If you wanted to go somewhere, sometimes it could take weeks. Also along the way you would have to stop. So Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, he went to one town, he didn't know the people there, he had some work there. They didn't have these kind of motels or hotels they have today. Nowadays you can, before you even go somewhere, you can know everything about the place. You can book your stay, you can have all the restaurants, everything. But today's technology, back then they didn't have that. But there were some people that used to offer their homes or their rooms. They used to just they were all usually on the main road, the highway. And they used to just offer their homes as a place to stay. It's kind of a generosity aspect. So Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah, he was traveling with his friend or his student, and they came to one place and they The person told him, come, you're travelers, you come, you stay with me. And the person insisted that they stay, so they stayed. After some time, they also introduced themselves, so the person insisted they stay for 3 days at least. The person was very, very generous to them. Took care of them very well with food and drinks and everything. And 1 day passed, 2 days passed. And the third day, Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, he was sitting down and he said, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. So his student told him, what's wrong, Shaykh? Is everything okay? He said, no, when we first came, when I saw this house from a distance and I saw this person from a distance, in my heart I was told that this man is very stingy and this place is not good. Keep moving. He says, this thought just, and I thought to myself that, we'll keep moving. But this person invited us in and he's shown great generosity. What a generous person. So this is su'ul dhan. I had this bad thought or this ill thought. How do you translate su'ul dhan? Ill thought. This ill thought about this person, ill feelings about this person. And I had already formulated this bad idea about him, and now I feel bad, I regret, astaghfirullah, I feel really bad about this, So the student told the Shaykh, you shouldn't dismiss this, you don't know. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah, he said, no, inna ba'da dhanni ism. The Quran is very clear that some of these thoughts you have, they can also be sinful. So I've committed this sin, astaghfirullah. So they were on the third day. They started getting ready to pack up and everything, and the person came and said, you people are leaving. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah said, look, we're only musafir for 3 days, we have to keep going. We cannot stay any longer, we have other things to take care of. They packed their things, so the person asked them, are you sure you're leaving? They said, yes. The person said, okay, hold on. So the person went inside, came back with a big list, So you drank these many cups of water, and you ate these many dates, and with these many bites you took, everything cost this much, Down to even the bites they took, and the cups of water they were drinking. So Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah, he looked at his student, and the student said, I told you, you don't dismiss your... We should not have this thought about everyone, but I'm telling you, some of the mashayikh, they had this. So this is a common thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put these thoughts. Sometimes they come, they call it subconscious. But those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala endows them with this gift. It's also called ilham. Sometimes they get this ilham also. It comes from this. So, Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, he showed this, and this is just one example out of so many examples. Even in the lives of Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, you find many examples like this. But this is a thing that the ruh can understand things that the conscious mind does not work out right away. And sometimes you should not dismiss them. Even we have a saying in English, your gut feeling, Some of the very, very successful people, they've asked them how they were so successful. They say we just follow our gut feeling. We don't try to explain it. Many of us, we dismiss our gut feeling. We say this is just... But it's sometimes, not all the times, but majority of the times, those feelings have a very, very strong basis. And often a time, this ruh, it also has this ability. MashaAllah. The mic couldn't handle the gut feelings. Give me just a minute, let's change the battery, inshallah. I think we should be using, we'll use this one for now, inshallah. This one works, inshallah. We'll use this, and later on we'll change it, inshallah. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. So, this ruh, it has this ability to understand these things. And often a time, the ruh, when it wants to give a message to the person, it will formulate that conclusion in a dream format. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the ruh also a language. The language of the ruh is symbols, and those symbols are very, very profound. They come in the form of dreams. For righteous people, starting from the Anbiya alayhimus salam, they used to see ru'ya salihah, they used to see true dreams. And even righteous people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He helps His ibad, His servants, through true dreams. They're shown something in a dream, and very, very profound dreams. Sometimes we dismiss them, this is nothing, And many a times, those dreams have a very, very profound meaning. We know of the stories of the Anbiya alayhimus salam, how many of them? Of course, we should not, the ulama are very, very clear that you do not extract fiqh or sharia from your dreams. But you can get many, many symbols and many, many truths from your dreams. That was, of course, we know the stories of the Anbiya alayhimus salam, we know the stories of Sahaba. Even the righteous people in our time, many of our mashayikh and elders, they used to see dreams that are very, very profound in meaning. I remember when we were studying, used to study the Quran, and time came where alhamdulillah, we were also involved in the teaching aspect. We were students and also teachers helping out the other students. And one of the top shuyukh, or the top sheikh at the institute we were studying, he came to the teachers. He said, I want to have a meeting with all of you. So we all sat down. Said, is everything okay? He looked worried from the morning. After Fajr Salah, he looked very worried. So Dhuhr time he came. He said, I need to meet with all of you. Something isn't right, So we sat down. And the classes were going on. And just teachers came and we had the meeting. And the sheikh, he said, something very strange I saw. He said, what? He said, I saw a dream last night that there were 3 very, very big snakes. And these big snakes were under the masjid. They were uprooting the foundation of the masjid. And he said that I was looking at the snakes like, this is how people are going to come for salah. So dangerous. Big, big snakes. Looking very poisonous type. Full of venom, those venomous snakes. You look at them, you get scared, And he said, I look at the caretaker. We used to have a caretaker. He used to look, it was kind of like a supervisor and also security, and he used to clean also. He was very, very involved with the students. So the sheikh said that in my dream, I was telling the caretaker, deal with these snakes. So dangerous, they can harm the student, they can harm the people coming for salah. He said the caretaker came and he wrapped up all 3 snakes like they were nothing, And he mentioned in his dream, one of the other shuyukh was also there. He looked at the sheikh, he said, you were there, and you were telling how to take care of the snakes. He said, I woke up, What does this mean? One of the shuyukh, he had the gift of interpreting dreams. He says, I tell you what this means. There are 3 students or 3 people that come to the masjid. 2 of them might be students, one of them is another person. He said they're stealing from the masjid. They're stealing from the donation boxes. They're stealing from the students' items. They're stealing things from the masjid. They're thieves. And they have their own gang. There's 3 of them. 3 is jama'ah, the group. He said there's 3 of them. And he said, we were all looking at him like, okay, who are they? One of the other shuyukh he was very expert at being able to read students. He said, it's this one, and the person that's involved with them is so and so. And he told the sheikh, he said, just get rid of them. Send these students home, get rid of them. This dream is very, very clear. So this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and it was true. We called them to the office. Some of the other shuyukh were just laughing, like, yeah, right, We called the students and we told them, you're stealing, and just tell the truth or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will curse you, because you're involved in Quran. The Quran will be cursing you. So they opened up, they said, yes, we stole this, and they named the things they stole. This is how profound dreams can be. It wasn't just something made up, it was very, very real. So this is how dreams can, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes He gives. Problems start. So to some of the awliya, some of the righteous people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives these kind of dreams. These dreams are sometimes a message, sometimes a warning. Another time, this happened a few years back, one of the shuyukh came to the masjid and he told everyone, start doing istighfar. We all got scared, so what's going on? He said, no, increase istighfar, something very major is going to come. I saw a dream where there was such a severe earthquake that it destroyed everything. This was Thursday. I even remember the day when that sheikh told them, and he said this, and the next morning, the tsunami in Japan happened. Next day was Friday. Friday early in the morning, the tsunami of Japan happened. So sometimes those that are involved with the Quran and read Quran a lot, and those who read a lot of Quran, they see these kind of dreams. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them. But they have a meaning sometimes, and it's always good to go to someone that is gifted with that gift of being able to interpret the dreams. But this passed on from the time of Yusuf alayhi salam, and it stayed in Misr. People were able to interpret dreams. Later on, because Fir'aun abolished religion or deen, there was a group of magicians. They used to read the stars and interpret dreams according to the stars. They were kahineen or soothsayers. They used to claim that they could read symbols in the sky and they could read people's dreams. So Fir'aun saw a dream. Fir'aun, he saw a dream. As I explained to you that the ruh is a very ajib thing. For the righteous people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them dreams, it's very clear. But not every person that sees even a true dream is righteous in any way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give a dream to anyone. Fir'aun, he saw a dream. And he saw a dream that he was looking in the sky, he was looking at the sun, and there was another planet that came. And right in front of him, the planet grew, it became a full planet. And it came in front of the sun, covered up the sun. And he woke up. So he told the kahini and the soothsayers and the others around him, what does this dream mean? So the soothsayer, they says, they told Fir'aun that we've been tracking the stars. And it seems that there's a child that is going to be born. And when he grows up, he's going to destroy you and destroy your kingdom. So Fir'aun became angry and he said, who is this child and where he will be born? And he said that we don't know who the child is. We don't know when he's going to be, who he's going to be born to, but we know a few things. One thing we know, he's not going to be born this year. He's going to be born next year. The way you mentioned the dream that the planet was growing and it came in front of you, these symbols mean not this year, but next year. That's one thing. Second thing, he's going to be born to your enemies, the people you're torturing, the Bani Israel. So Fir'aun, he passed a decree that any child born this year, let them live. In that year, Harun alayhi salam was born. And Fir'aun said that in that decree that any child born next year should be slaughtered and killed. And the child born next year was Musa alayhi salam. So Fir'aun, he went about and he gave this decree. And his army went that 1 year that Musa alayhi salam was to be born. And that year, any child that was born, Fir'aun had passed a decree in order to have them killed. How many he killed, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. They give some figures that it was in the tens of thousands or maybe even more. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this in this ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah. And he had them killed so that that child may not be born and that his kingdom may be saved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayat number 49, وَإِذْ نَجَّيْنَاكُمْ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ. We saved you from the people of Fir'aun. يَسُومُونَكُمْ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ. They were inflicting on you very, very terrible forms of torture. يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. They didn't just kill the child. They used to take the baby in front of the mother and slaughter with a knife. This is how cruel Fir'aun was. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. They used to slaughter your children in front of you. وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ. And they used to leave the mothers there crying in pain. You can imagine the mother seeing a child get slaughtered. Their own child is slaughtered in front of them. How terrible psychologically it goes for the mother. وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ عَظِيمٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and that was a very, very, very great test for you. But the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He wants something to happen. Musa alayhi salam was born. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Qasas that He sent wahi to the mother of Musa alayhi salam. One thing should be made very clear. The mothers of the Anbiya alayhimus salam, because in their wombs there was a Nabi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also made them very, very special people. They were special women. When the mother of Musa alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent her wahi. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى. We sent wahi to the mother of Musa alayhi salam. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكِ وَجَاعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent wahi to the mother of Musa alayhi salam that you take care of Musa alayhi salam, suckle him, feed him. But if you have the fear that the army of Fir'aun is coming to check your house, his spies are coming, then put him in the river, in the Nile, the Nile River. So she used to put Musa alayhi salam in a basket and tie a rope to the basket. And she would push the basket into the Nile River, and the other end of the rope, she used to tie close to her house. And the basket would go. So the spies would come, check everywhere, no baby, okay, they would leave. And then she would pull the rope back. And the basket would come back, she would have her baby. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also promised her that we will definitely return Musa alayhi salam back to you. One day, the spies came suddenly. And in that rush of a moment, The mother put Musa alayhi salam in the basket and pushed the basket. She forgot to tie the rope. And the basket went. And after the spies left, when she pulled the rope, she checked the rope, baby was gone. But she had that yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised me that He would bring him back. The Nile River used to go right in front of the palace of Fir'aun. Look at the qudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That basket carrying Musa alayhi salam came right in front of the palace of Fir'aun. And at that time, the wife of Fir'aun, she was sitting there, she was having her hair combed, and she was sitting by the Nile, just relaxing. And she saw the basket. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Fir'aun daughters. He didn't have any sons. So when she saw the basket, she told the servant, what is this basket? Bring this basket. So they brought the basket, what kind of strange basket floating in the middle of the river? Bring this here. So they brought the basket, she opened it, it was Musa alayhi salam. And when she saw Musa alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the love of Musa alayhi salam into her heart. She said, this is my son. That's it. Fir'aun came. The message read Fir'aun that there's some basket that came. So Fir'aun ran, he came. He said, what is this basket? What happened? So she said, the wife of Fir'aun looked at Fir'aun. So what are you talking about? He said, this baby, he's the one, kill him. She said, you've gone mad. What are you talking about? Out of all these thousands and babies you're killing, this is the one, come on. What is the probability of that? She said, you're losing your mind. لا تقتلوه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا. He said, don't kill him. Maybe we'll take him as our son, or he'll become beneficial for us. قرة عين لي ولك. She said, this is the coolness of my eyes and your eyes. We wanted a son for so long, we got a son. Fir'aun looked at her and said, yes, the coolness of your eyes, not mine. Kill him. She said, no. She looked at the guards. He said, don't even think about it. She said, this is my son. Anyone touches him, I deal with them. What could Fir'aun do? When upper command says, even Fir'aun couldn't do anything. So, finished. There's a lot to be said, but I'm being recorded. Even Fir'aun, he feared his wife. Okay? So this is what power Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them, and I don't mean to give them any more than what is needed, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the wife of Fir'aun a kind of protection for Musa alayhi salam. Inshallah, we'll continue from tomorrow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا في القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحان الله.